Hi, this is Mia Get Real. This is a recap I did. I don't know if it was yesterday's Friday. I don't know. I'm having a really hard time. I'm gonna start crying. This is 11 o'clock on Saturday, and I've been working every single day, and I just I was so tired, and I had to get the kids food, so I bought some food, and bought some more food, and then went to the other store after work and took my lunch break to get gas, and I I couldn't eat my lunch. I tried really hard to eat my lunch, some of it, and I drank this juice um, that has it's cold pressed, but it lasts a super long time. So in the stores, it freaks me out. I usually get a bad stomach ache, but it's a immunity or yeah, immune system boost. And I just felt like I needed a boost today. I used to juice everything by myself, or at least eat the raw fruit was my go-to. And I was ups and downs of this dating website, and then I realized that the first week, since it's Saturday, the first half of the week, I apparently liked almost everybody because I wanted to give everyone a chance on OkCupid, and like rotten meat. I don't know if even flies like rotten meat, but some kind of thing that flies like. I just they all the crazies, you know. And I I actually almost got in almost got in this really awkward relationship with somebody who I told somebody at work Friday, what does this mean? And I said, oh, I don't cuss, at least not on purpose. Oh, snap. And she just freaked, and she's run, look this up ASAP. And I freaked out, and I said, oh my God, you freaking saved my life. Coming from the background of abuse and just all of that craziness and narcissist and control. There was this young guy who was fairly good looking. There wasn't really a lot of close ups. And oh my God, I was not really, I was just responding. Say it's oh, it's midnight. I'm just going to type something just to be nice because they seem nice. Oh my God, it was one of those guys that they think carefully about what they're going to say to you to make you get another inch closer while they reel you in. They're just going fishing, throwing out, on the Nintendo 64, on Zelda. Link. Yeah, it's on Zelda, Ocarina of Time. There's an area where he goes fishing. And it's just throw it out and kind of you know, oh my God, I was being reeled in by this controlling youngster, and stuff that this guy was saying was making me feel good about myself. And I was at work, and the guys kept walking by me. I had my back to them, but I was why do they keep up? I know we always I always walk back and forth because I'm what did I go in here for? Not always like that. I'm I gotta get this, I gotta get this, and I'm feel like a little hamster collecting things. These are my cheeks here, collecting things, going out my here and dealing with it, and then collecting things and washing. I just felt like little rodents, but I was there was something glowing about me 2 days prior to that, the day before that happened, and then I got a couple really nice messages, and I was I didn't even think about it, but subconsciously I was wow, no one's been that nice to me ever. And it was so obvious that this person was not someone I should be submissive to. It was obvious by their minimal amount of reading from this guy's profile, and I've been so I used to get stuff stolen from me in high school and junior high, or yeah, at least in junior high. I was so naive. I'm not a criminal, or I'm not a narcissistic abuser. I could be narcissistic for all I know, and I don't even know, just because of watching family members, learning from family members. I'm scared about as one of my That's one of my fears. But because I don't try to control or do something, my kids would complain. You should try to monitor us more, Mom. And just like, I never thought in a million years that I was being manipulated and being sucked in, and that some of the stuff that I talked about, I was like, oh, I don't want to talk about this. I'm so glad I didn't want to about it because I thought this person was trying to ask me about something else, and it was way off the charts, like for me. And I haven't, when I used to drink, that's when I met guys, and I had very, very, very few boyfriends. And I haven't done that since 97. And that last person was who is now my ex-husband. And I've just been raising kids, and I feel like a asexual, like, mammy type that's going around. Like, literally, even you see me in videos wearing aprons. Like, I'm not wearing an apron today, guys. It's like a mammy type, asexual, unattractive, undesired, friendless. You just work, work, work. And people keep trying to think that I'm lying, and, like, just shut the F up, dude. Like, it's just like, I'm gonna slap this guy. I'm not gonna do it. But I'm gonna, in my mind, be like, just talk about something else. I know that I work every day. Don't remind me. Just because you and everyone you know is wealthy and you always go to frickin', where is it? Tahoe. We had a client. It's not really a client, but I would call it a client. It's a client pretty much, but and they were going through this thing, and they needed to. Their helper was on demand, and she was gonna fly when the time was ready. It was going to be spontaneous. The helper was to get on a plane from Tahoe and be hired to come out to where we are ASAP, and it's amazing um, because these people are white. I don't get it. Like, even when my parents had a lot of money, I don't think that I don't know. Like, sometimes you're frugal because you have to be, and you grew up in the Great Depression and like different things. Like, I feel like being black in the Great Depression would probably oh, there's a Great Depression. Oh, it's the same as always been like that. I can't say that because I didn't live through it. But my grandma was like, I saw little habits she had, and I was like, Great Depression, Great Depression. I was thinking that history is not my strong. So I already had felt a connection with this dude, and almost like a relationship, like the beginnings. And this dude, thank God, I actually looked at the profile and realized they live like really far. I was like, because if they didn't live far, I would be like, oh, gee, like, oh, I don't, like, maybe I could do a breakfast thing or something, like a tea thing before work. Like, I was literally thinking, give this guy your information and, like, set up a meeting because he was getting too deep too fast. And he was, he was responding after, like, studying the way that I wrote things, and so now I'm like, Mia, wake up. So the way that I tested this person. Okay, I have a relative that's like this, and I fled, and I ended up feeling like the relative would do things that when you act like, okay, they would do a gesture that looked like kind, and it would somehow be connected to the internet. So when you did something, a transaction, or did something, they would see it and then email you about your thing. Either they usually yelled at you and said, you idiot, why did you blah blah blah, fill in the blank. Like, they're tracking and monitoring it. So if you say somebody give you a gift card, it was a gas gift card, and they had opened it and written down the information and the PIN number and everything. And I'm just making up, but to say that they connected that card to an account where they can see all your transactions. And say like your kid has a volunteer project and you have to drive an hour out of town, and you're telling this person you're broke, you need gas money, like you're not asking for help. You're like, oh, I need to get to work, and kids have school and stuff. And so they send you this card, and they already like scratched off everything, and you drive an hour out of town to drop your kid at the thing, and you're like, oh snap, I didn't get gas in town, I gotta get gas. And as soon as you get home, 5 minutes after you got gas, that email is like, why the blank did you're all playing and joyriding and blah, 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 blah. You're like, no, you ain't going to do that with my money and blah, blah, blah. And then they're just like, you are so irresponsible. This is why people have to help you. Like, so I did a test. I hid from this website, from this dating website, because it tells you when you're online. And oh, I gotta do this thing, by the way. It tells you when you're online, and I don't hide it, and I probably should. And I gotta do this thing, guys. It's for my business, like super important. It's like so important. Like I have to. I'm like, that's why I'm not sleeping right now. Besides being all riled up, I said, watch this person be monitoring me. Watch this person be like. I stayed off that site and I shut it off on all my devices, and I freaked the heck out. I don't know if I think I shut it off at home. I don't know. I think maybe if you shut it off on one, I don't know. I have to be careful. Like, guys, this is the reason I'm saying this, be careful. I'm telling myself that. Oh, and I tell other people I sound bossy, so I'm saying it because it's like, Mia, like, what are you thinking? You weren't. You were so, like, oh, I got a really bad stomachache. So, I log back in, like on my lunch break or something. And minutes later, this guy says so they had messaged me like 6 something in the morning, and I stayed offline. I went to work. My friend told me, dude, I know about these people, be careful. And I looked online, and there was a whole following of people that like this kind of stuff, but I felt like, no, not after all you've gone through. It's not your thing. And minutes later, I get a message, when are we going to meet or something? And I was like, oh, crap. And I told my friend that, God, like, I hate to bother people. I was like, oh my God. They're like, how do you block them? So I blocked them. There's this other person that only talked about my looks, and someone said they look like a certain thing, and I was like, oh crap. Like, I was just like, oh, it's kind of nice. And so I blocked them. And I'm like, dude, you need a burner phone, dude. Like, are you crazy? Like, it is worth going to pay like $36. I don't even know what a track phone is, for like a track phone or something. And like, just gets to one of those little cards that you can purchase minutes. Like, it would be worth it to do that. I used to use Google Voice and all that stuff, and I probably lost the numbers because I had the other email addresses had them. So why I'm saying this is I just signed up for another dating website, and I sent someone a message through Match.com, and it let me send a message, but then it goes straight to it was like mobile, and it went straight to the payment page, and I was like, oh shoot, I hope they can't charge me to my phone. Sometimes you set up like Google Play, or you set so like, oh crap, I hope I didn't start getting charged. I have to be real careful with that too. That's one of my pet peeves, is not wanting to sign up or signing up. What the heck? Oh shoot, I didn't mean to save the password on that. Oh my god, I didn't mean to save the password on that. Shoot. Seriously, it's not even the right password. I don't know what happened. And So yeah, within a couple minutes, I get a message, and I think I logged off. I logged on, and then I don't know when. I probably took like another like 5 minute break to like use the bathroom and stuff, and I just like I just like blocked that person, and then I don't know the order of the time. And then there was this person that I had this bad feeling that their profile was super fake. That either that or this is like a 13-year-old who stole their uncle's phone and found some pictures on it, or like this guy was so freaking cute, like in like a nerdy kind of way, and like so like professional, like in like super like small but like buff, and it was like that's the one I made the videos, and I was like, I have a bad feeling that this is fake, and this person was like taking a long time to respond, and then they finally were like, I'd love to meet you, and they're like, I'll text you later. And I was so like excited. I actually, when I got that message, I was over it because I was like, this guy is a major red flag. I was over my like eye candy giddiness. So I was like, dude, like you're gonna have to block him. So I was sitting here after work yesterday. Actually, I went to my meeting. I set an hour alarm. I don't know why I can't log into this thing. It's freaking me out. I set an hour alarm, and then I ignored it. I totally ignored the alarm. I did not I did not block him. I just, because once you block it, I guess it's like done forever. Like you can't ever. And I gotta be real careful that what's his name does not make another account and come. Like I'm already freaking out, and I'm like, okay. So forget about the cute person. Oh shoot, still not letting me in. It's gonna lock me out if I don't. Ah, snap. What the heck is wrong with this? No, I don't want to save this password. What the heck? So, this is really disturbing. This, like, I don't know what to do. I have, like, all of these different, oh my god. I have different logins, and, just, like, deleted half of this. What am I supposed to do here? Alright, so, I finally deleted it. I said, you go to work, you do your work, and you take your freaking 10-minute break, and you wipe it, like, wipe the slate clean. If it's real, this person's gonna have written down my phone number right away. Because I do that with people that are shady too. Because then if I realize, oh snap, they're shady, you block it. And again, I should probably have my real phone number on there. So I'm gonna have to work on my Google number. I'm not gonna give my number. I'm not gonna give my number out to anybody anymore. This is stupid. Like, oh god, I gotta sign in. Or it's gonna lock me out. Oh, thank god. Oh no, it didn't. It didn't let me in. Oh my god. It might lock me out. I better do a password record. Hold on, guys. I don't want to do that one more time. This is ridiculous. It's not letting me in. If it doesn't let me in, I'm gonna have some issues with my business. Well, I'm gonna take a chance. But you know what might have happened is it looks like my computer is acting weird. It looks like it erased half of the username. Let's try it again. If not, I will do a password reset, which is annoying. It's probably, I think it worked this time. I think it just, my computer deleted it. Yeah, here it is. Oh, thank God. Woo! I hate when I get locked out of stuff for my business, and it's like, you have to have it, like, time stamp date, like, you have to have stuff current, and it's freaking, not almost, like, Sunday, like, almost midnight, between Saturday and Sunday. So I felt like you get to that freaking meeting, I don't care, and I didn't want to fall asleep. I didn't bring my crochet project, and I'm sitting there like fidgeting. I'm like, oh my god, I hate driving people crazy. Like fidget. I did this report in a weight loss group about how many calories you burn when you fidget, and dude, I burn a lot of I actually fidget on purpose, and it's like I lost like 90 pounds fidgeting. All right. Um. So I signed up. Okay. So skip ahead. I deleted everybody. I deleted everyone else, and I said, "Oh, there's this one guy who was trying to hang out. Then he said he was going out of town. Then he said he's not. But he got his days all weird. Like he's like, oh, I'm gonna go for these amount of days except for tonight or something. And then he's like, oh, it's the weekend. I'm supposed to go. I'm excited. I didn't say excited. And I was like, the weekend. He said he was gonna go during the week. Like I was so like he changed his story, and he's like, oh, never mind. I'm not going. So I wonder if he was trying to be like, oh, let's meet, but I'm gonna be gone for a while. And I was like, that guy's gonna be gone because he's really annoying. Like he wasn't annoying. I don't know these people. And so I was like, after I deleted everyone, I was like, oh, but there's that guy and that other guy. And um, I'm like telling myself, guys, I bet you that guy doesn't have a job because I'm sitting here talking about how much work I do and everything. And this person is like probably saying, oh, she probably has a lot of money. Let's milk her. Let's find a sugar mama. Like I got really freaked out that like I future tripped. I was like, oh, that first of all, I was like, that cute office guy is probably like married or something, or like, oh, like I don't care if somebody's trans. Like I don't like I'm not against like I just like people to be honest. I was like, oh, maybe it's really a woman and they don't want to say. Like I was just like thinking of all I was like future tripping all this stuff, and I was like that other guy's probably living with some girl he met on here, and while she's at work at school, he's probably getting online trying to find somebody who lives nearby so he can take the bus over and meet them. Some like I was all future tripping, but I was like, after yesterday, I was like freaking psychologically profiling everyone that walked by me just because of like how I sensed it, and my mind was like, don't look that person in the eye. They're like narcissistic. Like this already happens. You know that, you guys. And weird spiritual like negativity or positivity happens depending on who you're around. So I had to learn to block that by not making eye contact, and those people they'll pierce and stare right into your eye, and you could see outside your eye. You know that they're doing it. They're not just like, oh, look, the sun is behind your head. I'm gonna look at the sun or whatever. They're like they're trying to make eye contact because there's a soul sucking that occurs. I saw like a couple of women in the store pushing kids, and I was like, oh, how sweet. Those people would be like, oh, look at that nice lady going through the line with their little kids. And my mind was like, danger, danger. Like I was like, this is ridiculous. It's almost like because I had some people I also told at my group last night, like one lady, I had this like it was like sad. It was like the black boxes. God, I must have been getting these. It's like the black box was lost but it wasn't a black box. But you needed this. It was like the switch for the so you're in a building and the switch for detect red flags. Turn on now. Click, and you're like like scanning like the Terminator, and you're like, where in this building, like this is a new building, like say you're like, oh, I never found that switch for red flags, like we're trying to guess, but it's like night vision goggles, like we're trying to see what we could see, but we can't see everything, and then it's like, you're like, oh dude, it's under the bathroom sink, it's been here, like we never found it for like 7, 8 years, and then it's like night vision goggles, like, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's like a whole, like I've never used them, it's like a whole new world. And it's just like like there's no like and like I worked in a lab, so you look through a microscope and there's mistakes. You know, there's mistakes that happen once in a while. There shouldn't be mistakes. Everyone should double check everything. But I gotta do this. Okay, is it done? What the heck? I don't even know. I just had to push that button. Are you serious? All right, let's just deal with that. I was like, the hardest part was logging in this daggone thing. So the biggest thing with that, guys, was this like the eyes open. Now, I'm not trying to say that I knew all this stuff about all these strangers, but with the people that I had this gurgling, bubbling up, danger, warning, I have a bad feeling about this, danger, warning, I have a bad feeling about this. So I come home and I watch a YouTuber, and I wanted to hear how she stays safe meeting men. And she's just like, she's black and she seems to always be doing her hair. I was like, oh, I can relate. It takes forever. It's like, I told my kids, dude, we need freaking 1 or 2 extra days off during the week just to do y'all hair. Like, it is crazy. Like, so much hair. Like, my kids are mixing so much thick hair. And there's curls. And it gets knotted up. And it's just like, besides my own hair that I don't even know how to do. And it's so hard. Like, we had 1 summer off. And I actually worked. I came straight home. Well, I worked like full time. We came home, put in videos, and just did my daughter's hair. And we would re-braid it. And there was only like 6 braids. It would take that long to comb all the snarls. Like, just take the braids out and redo it. It took us 2 or 3 videos. That's like 5 hours. And that's all we did. Like, we probably put some food in the oven or something. And it was, put the video on to distract me. But I was like every 5 days, like 7 days a week. And we went back to school, and it never got done like that before. And we had to have a professional help us detangle it in the first place. Oh my God. And then we went in for an appointment. They're like, you're gonna make your appointment in a week, but you got a lot of work to do. If it's not partway done, you're gonna have to cancel, right? And then my son's hair, like, we don't care. This guy's like, we're gonna cut his hair. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, we're just gonna buzz it all off. I was like, fine, he's a boy, let him know. Like, if she was a boy, we would have buzzed hers too, or if she requested it. So these people were talking about this website. So I signed up for this non-traditional dating website, and within like 2 minutes, I started getting messages, and this just happened. All right. Hold on. Let me pick up this stuff off the floor. It's gone, guys. I gotta vacuum and like clean everything. So I'm sitting here being like, oh my God. People had hidden stuff, and they unlocked it for me, and I'm like super, like, I wanted to just write like businesswoman something, and I it wouldn't let me. I had to write 50 words about myself, minimum. So I just wrote a little bit more, and within a couple of minutes, some people with their area of town listed, fancy area. I'm like, oh snap, what did I do? What did I do? Just to make, and I have been working every day. Everything is trash. I'm overwhelmed. I came home, I went downstairs to get food. Animals are crying. I should just put the phone, I've had everything away, okay? I thought to myself, oh my God, I am signing up for all this stuff. One lady who works at the store, I've been bugging her. She can't leave. She's trying to just work and focus. I text her, she doesn't text back unless it's something really super juicy. And I'm like, what the heck? What the heck is going on? I was like indebted to her, like Jar Jar Binks. Binks or Brinks? And it's like, Jesus, is the life or the light? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyways, she opened my eyes. I had seen some other people's profiles. Just experiment, guys. We experiment dating, online dating. I had seen some other profiles, and they had some stuff written, I made myself look up what that meant. But the other stuff, I just thought people were being cute or sarcastic. And I was like, being reeled in inch by inch. And I went to my meeting. It was really exhausting. It's kind of like I tell people, roll the window down, drive tired. You got to get there. And I had to leave work. They Someone was supposed to help me. They never helped me. I came in today. Everything left the way I left it last night. Someone was supposed to clean it up. The store policy. I'm like, oh shoot, like whatever. I realized besides a couple people, if I go to my meeting, I feel home. I feel intimidated. I go to work. I feel at home, like I'm with the family. Um, I don't know what I would do if I just worked for myself and sat in here like I did. Like I don't know how I could. Like I'm like super social, but I'm also like introverted because I like to do stuff I want to do. But it's really fun for me. Most of my life, I like to get out, like go biking with someone, go skiing, buddies, join the clubs. I was in all the sports, and I just like scouting, all that stuff, volunteering, explorers, and all that stuff. Um, I realized I'm really tired, so it's like the halt. You're hungry, you're angry, you're lonely, and you're tired. And so I'm like, oh my god, I'm a person of extremes. I'm like really immature and really mature and wise, but really immature and ignorant. Um, I I realized I was like super lonely and super bored, and I told you like I feel like just this robot that's got to wear this apron, just do this, do that, do this, and it's always something for somebody else. And it's like if I'm eating, it's so that I know that I can have energy to work for somebody else or feed the kids, or if I'm doing my hair, it's so that my hair doesn't become a giant knot that I go to work and lose my job for having my hair a giant knot that I refuse to shave. Um, like I felt like I was just super, super, um, like this week has shown me like my faults. This week experiment, it's showed me some of the strengths. Like you had to kind of think of marketing yourself, and I didn't really put any strengths until today. But the good news is I took a crash course in some of these words that I didn't understand that I see on Criminal Minds, and maybe some of the other. I don't know if Law and Order had too much of this, but this stuff isn't necessarily a crime. But if somebody that has the criminal intent, and then it could get real sticky. And I got really scared because this guy was really careful of how he worded things and how he um, like it's not like I even met this person or talked to this person really, but it's like it's in a way the fine line, a gray area. It's like the wheel of abuse. It's like they do something, you feel scolded, or they make it like you're not scolded, but it's like, oh, it's cute. It's like, oh, you're quirky about something, but you're kind of like, oh, he didn't like that. And then it moves around to compliments and gifts and feeling like someone cares, and you're just like, oh, I must have overreacted. Like it was like that, and I had hardly any communication, and it brought like I don't know if it was my dreams or after my meeting. I don't remember even driving home and going to bed. I was so tired. I don't remember. Um, I was like laying in bed. And I told my daughter I was tired. She looked tired too. I was like, dude, if I didn't hear you guys in the bathroom all morning, I would have probably slept through work, and I probably wouldn't have. Like, if I had no noise in the freeway and the kids in the bathroom, I might have actually woke up and been like, oh shoot, put your shoes on and go right now, which was pretty much almost what I did. But I was just laying there like, you gotta go to work, dude. Like, I can't move. Like, literally, my legs were numb. I told you I got in a car accident a few years ago. Like literally, especially my right side. I like couldn't really move, but I just like had to like get some tea and stuff. And that was yesterday. I didn't have time to. Oh, I got lemonade. I got lemonade to take in. Thank God that was my treat for the day. I actually laid down and finished it. So I realized that when I wrote the story about Pika and Mark on their first date, which was kind of a hangout session, Mark asked her why she was so stressed. And this is one of my fiction stories. And Pika just says, so I'm the author, right? Pika just says, I don't know. It's just like I go, go, go. I never get to leave town. I'm always like super busy, and I never have time to just like breathe and just like be. And then I might add this. I probably didn't add about the companionship because you can like take a break and walk around the park by yourself, but that companionship, being able to like walk with someone, giggle about stuff, and look at the stars and stuff. For me as a single mom, I had a lot of this stuff when my kids were little. It was like, oh, when school and daycare's out, it's like you have your kids 24/7. It's like if school's out for 3 weeks because of a snowstorm, you're with your kids 3 weeks. And if you have to go to school or work, you're gonna walk or take the bus together. Like you're all gonna have to like go together. And so grocery shopping, going to the park every single day, and walking around in the rain, and going to church 4 times a week, like all that stuff. And so the kids can stay home. It's like, well, someone has to go to the store, and you're like, oh, I gotta go. It's like, you can't drive. Like, can you guys take the bus or something? And so I ended up like feeling like in the story I was reflecting my own like need to just like look, say, oh look, it's Saturday night. Somebody wants to go bowling. Well, maybe I'm too tired, but I could still sit there and watch. Like if it was bowling, I'd probably bowl because I really used to love bowling when I was younger. Um, I just have never found anyone to go bowling with. Again, I could go by myself, and so that's probably what I'm gonna do. Um, I don't. Oh my God, is this the last day? Oh God, it's not the 30th yet. Okay. Woo. I think for my birthday month, I'm just gonna go do stuff by myself. Like I, if I take a 5-minute walk in the park, fine. If I just drive there and pull over and just like open the window, turn the car off, and just breathe, fine. If I spend time going hiking, because I know a couple of the trails, and just like be careful, make sure your cell phone's charged, or you don't fall, break your leg, call 911. Like, no, I can't. My insurance is gonna cancel. Like, I'm not gonna call my kids. Crawl out of there. No, but that's the fears of like, you do something by yourself. Go take the kids skiing by yourself. Someone gets lost and you can't leave the other kid to go search. Like, oh my God. And I've had trouble with my kids. I went to a birthday party, and there's a big, huge party at this beach in my old hometown. And my daughter got stuck, and my son was just born. Like maybe he could have been born like days. It could have been days before, and I was carrying a newborn baby, and my other 1-year-old was stuck. It fell off with giant slides, and she was dangling by the leg. And I kept saying, "Could someone help me? Could someone please help me? Could someone please help me?" And she was dangling, like could have ripped her leg off. And everybody, I looked them in the eye. Please, can you help me? Please. They just kept walking right by me, like dozens and dozens of people. I hate that. It's a good Samaritan story, and I had to just you can't put the baby in the sand. You can't just drop your baby on the ground and like have him like you know newborn baby. If it was like a bigger baby, you could be like, okay, stay here, Junior, for a second, and I'm gonna get Sissy. So I had to like get this and just like all my might, like the car and the adrenaline. The kid gets run over, and the mom picks up the car with one hand. I had to like pick up this child and get, and it was like really old one. They don't have these kind of swings and stuff anymore. I had some other instances where I needed help. So I get really paranoid about going out. But it is what it is. If I shouldn't be scared if I know that my adrenals can kick in and I can do like that car accident. I couldn't really walk. I had to crawl on my elbows to the bathroom and stupid stuff like that. And not one. So I learned from this past 3 hours that maybe like 1 hour that I feel like it's it's opening my eyes to how alone I really am, and how I don't have anyone to count on, and how I don't have friends, and how I don't ever have romantic partners or relatives that I can be safe around. And it really oh, it's like a dagger to the heart. Like it breaks my own heart. It's like almost right now, like my heart is like a candy heart, but it's like a novelty. It's full of like red liquid fluid for kids to shake, and it gets a crack in it, and it's almost like it's puddling somewhere else. It's literally like Tinder right here. Oh no, it's Tinder. It's really Tinder right there. It's almost like it's puddling out, and it's just like broken heart, like weeping, sad. And so I get on this non-traditional type of website, and I'm like, what did you just do? You think going from these psycho, like that other guy that I blocked was not necessarily psycho, but the one that had my phone number I think was kind of creepy. And so it's like, what did you freaking do, dude? Like, you just went into a whole new territory of like, like it's like I was like praying, oh my God, God, I need your help. I'm like, I don't have friends, and I am. Look at all the bills that have to be paid. I don't have friends, and I um, I'm just sitting here doing things that don't involve me going out to try to think that I'm gonna meet someone, some strange person to go out with. And I'm like, that sounds scarier than just going to freaking Starbucks and just like ordering water and like a bottle of water and like sitting there with a book. Like I have even coffee table book or something. Like so I'm gonna do like a 30 days of I'm gonna do like a 30 days of like 30 days of these are all like I just realized like all these are like professional shots. 30 days of that sounds like a lot. I think October is like 31 days. 31 days. Like I look at these pictures and I'm like, this one's looking for a hookup. It's like this guy looks older than in that one picture. I look horrible in a selfie, so I'm not gonna judge people's selfies anymore. This one looks older than me. That's not that matters. So I'm just like, I'm like mad at myself for not speaking up about it. But okay, so 12, I don't know how many hours or whatever between yesterday evening and this morning, whether it was awake or sleep or both, I had this revelation that I was pulling. I told somebody it this way. It was like I said every time I left an abuser, which happened multiple times, most of the time I flee town and just pack my bags and leave these abusers. And the last time, um, so this blocking made me feel dirty and bad. It's like, ooh, this person wanted to control me and I didn't have permission to block them. And I felt like every time I left an abusive relationship, I had, like when I was homeless, we had mandatory counseling, but I go, listen, I want to touch you straight. Like, I'm in a domestic violence shelter. I was raised in an abusive home. I was beaten every day by my mom. I witnessed her being beat up. I said, guys always were, boyfriends were like rapists and pedophiles. I said, I need to talk to somebody about the abuse and about being a victim of abuse and a survivor. And they're like, no, you cannot talk about that right now because you're in a homeless shelter. We need to talk about, you know, we need to talk about survival. And I didn't think of it like this, but now I do, like clean air, water, food, clothing, shelter, whatever other one. And I'm just like, oh my God, you know. Um, so I'm like, um, I'm like, anyways, I said, yeah, it's like every time it's so hard to ask for counseling and help, and then the counseling stopped taking our insurance, or insurance stopped paying. It's happened so many times. And they're like, this is our last session. My boss told me to tell you this is our last session because your insurance, because your insurance, because your insurance. And because of my insurance was Medicaid at the time, I couldn't pay cash. And some people gave me like grants through the company because some of them were group sessions for other things, everything besides abuse. And I imagined myself in like a 80s movie, coming to a counselor's office, coffee table, they're sitting there with their clipboard and their pen, and I'm laying on this, what do you call those things? A chaise lounge, and I'm just like, and then this happened. How does that make you feel? Have you found ways to cope? And like I just imagine myself. Okay, I have some assignments for you. This week I would like you to journal about this, and then do this, and then next week, why don't you ask me questions about this experience? And since you're a spiritual person, make sure you pray. Like you just want somebody to just like know that what you're saying is important to you, whether it's good or bad. That it has had a dramatic impact on your life. And nobody would even spend 10 minutes. Um, so I felt like between yesterday and today, through my group, through prayer and meditation, to talking to somebody else that actually looked at me and said, oh my God, I'm worried about you. I felt like I pulled all that crap from under the rugs, and I ended up like like dealing with it, healing from it. But what I did was like, it's like I want to like smack my booty and be like, dude, I don't like using that word. I I said, dude, when you were with your ex-husband, it was 10 years of bondage, even if you were legally separated for a lot of that. When you were with your abusive relatives, it was decades of bondage. You sent a couple of, they weren't even flirty, a couple of emails to somebody, or whatever, messages, and you stopped it before anything started. So don't even, like, because of control freaks. And it brought, like, when this person told me this, I shook. I started shaking when they told me this. And then when I read about it, I was shaking for like 5 hours. And we were getting ready to leave work, and I said, I've been shaking all day because I just fell into a trap. And it malfunctioned. Like, it might not malfunction. I was like, I was able to escape. And I felt so stupid. And this person said, oh my God, when my friend had the same thing happen, she stayed in this relationship, or she made a relationship out of it. She said I started shaking too. And I was like, oh, like I was embarrassed. I was like, she doesn't need to hear this. I was embarrassed about that. And I was like, um, I was like, my, okay, this is embarrassing. My weakness for the dating pictures is like beanie hats. Like, like I am like, that's really a bad, that's a sick joke. It's like a sick joke. A sick joke. It's like a picture on an airplane. It's weird that they're looking for someone 30 to 70. Like, I couldn't imagine dating a 70-year-old. Like, I don't know. So now I'm feeling like, I was in the mornings, even though I was tired, I kept saying, this is an experiment. This is not because you're desperate. I was like, who are you fooling? You're desperate. I was like, desperate people do weird things, so like, be very careful. So I watched this one video and everyone was laughing and talking and looked so like women like strong and medical career and this and this and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this what they're doing and then I said I was like, dear God, this is I should just delete it and I was like, just sleep on it. Just don't worry about it. Just sleep on it and what does this mean? And I was like, these guys have all of their freaking Halloween costumes. Some of them are just freaking me the heck out. And I'm just like, I was trying to be tolerant because my kid does some weird costuming things. And I'm like, no. Like, your kid. You don't know why these people are like that. But what I learned was that I'm really tired and I've been going and doing stuff. And since I'm used to sometimes staying up for work till like 2 a.m. and stuff, it's really hard to just, like, before I was doing that, I would frequently fall asleep at like 8. And no matter what time I go to sleep, I still wake up at 6 because of the traffic outside my window, even the windows are shut, even with the sound machine on. Eventually, one of those trucks making all that noise on the freeway exit and the other street, the other highways. I will stay up late for my other job, and if I'm woken up by 6, that's 4. Like the other day, I was at 3 to 6, like 3 hours, 4 hours of sleep, and that's what my profile picture is. I was getting all kinds of likes and messages. And then I had changed the profile picture. I didn't want that as the first picture. It saved it. And I was like, I've gotten like no like I've gotten like only likes for like I don't know, like hookups. Like one hookup or something. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna go there. Um and I wondered, speaking of people looking for hookups, I wondered like I wondered like if I was going to compromise my moral values and beliefs because of desperation. Like in my life, I've had before I was married and through that marriage, it was anything goes, and I was hurt a lot, and I was assaulted a lot, and it was a mess, and we were around other people in this culture where other people were being hurt and strangers that in this culture we know, like one young girl was raped in a parking lot. Um, I still remember to this day, it was a rave in Detroit, I think at the Packard. And I met a group of girls, probably, I don't know, they could have been 14 or something, from the suburbs, just white girls. And there was like 3 of them maybe. And they're like, oh, we got a kitty. I'm like, what? You got a kitty? Like, I love animals. Like, you have a kitty? And we're like in the rave or near the door. Like, this is like Detroit underground stuff from the 90s. And this girl, one of them says, yeah, the kitty's out in the car. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna go, someone's gonna go check on the cat and make sure he's okay. He or she is okay. And the next thing I knew, because there's no sense of time, it's still dark out. During those raving times, it would be sunlight, and if the place had windows that weren't covered, it's weird. Not that this happened, but everything is covered with steam from everyone's sweat and breathing. If that sun would shine, and you could only see like colored shadows outside. So it wasn't that point yet. I went outside. I was by the door. I hate this because it's happened to me, but it was stranger, or it was date rape. One of the girls went to the car to check on the cat, and the girls came and got me. Okay, so I'm like probably 18 or 19. I was young, but and this is there's some people of color, right? But for the most part in Detroit, it was like suburban white children that would get out and dress up and look cool, and they had the like super skinny waist. Oh, I ever had. And they came and got me, and they said their friend was beaten and raped when she went out to the car. And they said, what do we do? What do we do? And I was so young, and I didn't know what to do because everyone's partying. And who knows what they told their parents? I was a college kid, so it was like anything went. It was like whatever. In the dorms, you had curfews and stuff, and then in the other house that you could sign in as long as you had your ID. And my signatures were probably really bad, and sign your guest in. And they're like, should we go to the hospital? Should we go to the hospital? And I was like, I don't know. Like, because you feel like this is, like, if I go back in time, I'd be like, go to the hospital and have the police come. And if I could have gone with him, I didn't probably drive. I didn't drive. My friend drove. Everyone's coming from different places in the state or even out of state, and to come to this event. If I could go back in time, I would have gone with my friend, put her, or like ride in their car, and have my friend follow us to a hospital, and like hold this girl's hand and be like, the hospital's gonna know, the cops are gonna come, social workers might come if you're underage, they might drug test you, and like I know this now, and your parents are gonna find out about it, and you might actually get a bill. Or was like for a rape kit. I don't know. That's what I would say now. I watch so much Law and Order, Special Victims Unit, and I was like I just always felt like I was in trouble, and these kids probably felt like they were in trouble, and I was assaulted many times, and I always feel like I was raised to take the blame for everything. So it's like, oh well, it's my fault. I didn't even consider going to the police. And for me, it's embarrassing to say I have to watch freaking crime shows to know. Like I know now when I left my ex that I was so mad that I let myself be in these abusive relationships and be hurt by these people and still like meet up with them later on. And like the one guy, I think I finally stopped, and it happened with other people, and I had instances where I used my martial arts to keep him off me, and it was insane, I still kept hanging out with him because I thought it was fun. And he was an older guy, and he had a car, like I thought it was fun. And I always wanted a boyfriend, I always wanted a mate, and a companion, and someone to talk to. And so I would do shady stuff. And I feel like the one bad thing right now, I don't feel well, I feel tired. My kid wanted to ride somewhere, I don't know if she was going to want to ride home. The one thing that I feel like is that I pray that my kid gets home safely. I'm really scared. I don't like people out on Saturday night. Anyways, I can't go back in time. And oh yeah, I was in the homeless shelter, and they had talks and group talks and private talks. I had counseling, and the church didn't really help at all. But I was like, oh, all the thing that church made me feel like it was trendy to believe in God, and I always already believed in God and Jesus, so it wasn't like I needed that. But it kept being a good reminder of ask for help, ask for help. I was embarrassed and ashamed that a student or a college grad was so stupid to not know that when somebody hurts you, it's not okay. If you're playing and you're role playing and that's your thing, that's a different genre. But if you're being hurt and they're hurting you and you want them to stop and you say no and they don't, that's not okay. It's a crime. And that you deserve, like, you deserve compensation. You deserve this person to be in trouble. Um, and so that's what's really hard for me right now is it's just like it's just like I already went through this list. I'm like, this person has too much hair. Like, I used to like a lot of hair and all this stuff. Like, I'm just like, what is my problem? I used to be like this person has too much hair. This person has too much muscle. This person is holding too much water. This person has too much beard. This person, like, I'm just like, too much glasses. Like, I know the grammar's bad. I'm just like, the too much, or like too many motorcycle pictures. Like, this is stupid. So I I don't know like what I'm gonna do. Um, I don't know if I'm just gonna shut down all of these. I don't know if I just want to shut down all of these websites and just be like okay, let's go the old-fashioned way of just like staring at people and hope that maybe they'll come up and talk to me. Like that's just creepy. I don't even know. But when for some reason, having that story come up, it's like, be careful. These people are like fake phone numbers, don't give out any bank information, carry mace, this, tell someone where you're going, this, like, it's reminding me, like, even if you meet somebody, I met somebody who got my number and I said, look up my band name, and I was like, oh, I'd buy your album if you have like an actual vinyl, and they're like, oh, I actually do. And I looked it up, and he had like that crazy eye picture, and I was like, he's either a tweaker, he didn't look like a tweaker, it looked like not like a meth tweaker, but like a different type of tweaker. He had that look in his eye, and I was like, this guy was cute. It's like that red flag switch. So it's like you find that switch, you turn it on, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's so clear. But then it's like you didn't know where it was before, you guessed, you maybe got 10% right, maybe just missed some people, and then you have the switch, you know where it is, and then you're like, I want to have fun in life. I want to do what I want. I want to take a chance. It's about experience, right? Then you turn your switch off and you're just like, woo, and it's like, um, so that's where I am right now. Wow, some other people's language is kind of creepy. Like, not that they're free to, they're free to do what they want. Within 15 miles, this person looks like they'd be a type A personality. So it's like now all of these things that come up, none of them are matches. Like, Like, none of them, like, before when I started, everyone I liked, it was like, they like you back, they like you. I was like, really? I feel so popular. Now it's like, zero. Like, I'm just like, oh, I'm like, wait. Now I'm like, see, I already saw these people. I'm like, um, why are these all professional shots? Oh, yeah, I saw some blog where they're like, people hire companies to build a profile and take pro shots and write their thing. And I was like, oh, I gotta go because eventually I gotta go and vacuum. But it's like freaking midnight. I'm gonna just lay down and like I think I'm gonna listen to Carl Cox followed by John Aquaviva and just listen to music. And I gotta vacuum and I haven't run the dehydrator. Like I want to tell you this. I've been working every day, and there was like a day that we had got canceled. So I had to work from home and do a lot of work because it was due yesterday, Friday. Now it's Sunday, but it was due Friday. And I don't feel well. I don't feel like I've had a chance to just breathe, just sit and drink water, just make food in dehydrator, just like, I've barely like watered my lawn like once this month, and it's like one of the things are dying. Like two plants need to be replanted. I have like a freaking pepper here that I forgot to eat. Now it's like rotting. Stick it in my bowl, and I'm just like, people were calling me, and I didn't even call them back on Thursday. This is not like me really, and I'm just like, I don't know how to say it. Um, I'm just like, I don't know how to say it. When I look at people like my age, I already saw all these people. When I look at people like, that's scary. My age, why do men put scary stuff in their posts? Scary bugs and snakes and crabs and stuff. It's kind of creepy. So I'm like sitting here in my mind thinking that I have to be. It's like this same person have like 10 freaking profiles. I think this guy has like 10 profiles. It keeps popping up, and it's like, so I'm like so tired, and then I told someone, they're like, oh, you're like my sister. It does this stuff while she's sleeping. It makes these weird decisions. I was like, well, that's how I kept my business going, staying and studying. And I like do stuff like signing up for stuff. Like, oh, that reminds me, I had to sign up. I got to do the thing. This one thing. Um, so I'm just like, I don't know how to say it. Like, this person's too young. Oh yeah, I look at people like my age, and I'm like, dude, you that look like hair from me. I was like, dude, you look freaking old. And I was like, oh my god, I look freaking old. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, like I'm not getting younger, right? Like, what am I gonna do? So let me get off the video. I really want to vacuum, clean dishes, do laundry. I don't even know if I have clothes to wear tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna have to wake up when I wake up and just do laundry. And it's just what I need right now. Uh, I feel like things are gone. Things have hit the fan. I don't get paid that much. I don't get paid enough to be working 7 days a week. Because it's like destroying. It feels like it's destroying my household. But pennies add up. Um, I just feel like I need to and I don't have vacation hours either, so I can't even plan something like, oh, in 2 weeks from now, I need to chill the heck out. I need more than a week off. Like, I had some periods before I had a second outside of my house job or outside of my own business where I had 2 weeks and I got nothing done. But I realized I did stuff right. You would say, "Oh, there's trash. I need to go out, take it out." Like, but when you're like, I gotta be to work in 3 minutes. Trash by the door, already bagged up, is like, if it's like you got 12 minutes, okay, throw it in and run. But now, plus they've changed it, and the lid is always closed. So it's like you have to not have your other hand full, like keys and lunch and stuff like that. So right now, I'm totally like not even having time to do these little tiny things. And it hurts. It hurts. And what makes it worse is people that make plenty of money and have their life together and all this stuff. They look at me like I'm really stupid and doing something wrong and don't know how to live life. But what happened when I didn't do this was we became homeless. And it happened more than once. So I'm sitting here thinking I'm like, sitting here thinking that I get more mad when people criticize me. And not one of these people have helped me with something. Like, once in a while, someone, like, you go with something, it's usually a business, like, oh, you want to drink, someone's like, do you want some water? I thought they were going to give you a bottle. I was like, yeah, but let's drink it out of a bottle. They gave me a cup of water. I was like, oh, I don't want this cup of water. I was like, I wasted this guy's time. I felt so rude, but I was like, I'm going to take him up on it because I usually don't get stuff. I'm doing business here and I had to wait for somebody, so I was like, oh, like, we don't go to like, we don't get served. We don't go to restaurants. We don't go to hotels. I never once had hotel maid service. I just did it myself. So I just feel like I was mad at the kids, and I felt like, because it's like nobody's helping me, but in a way they're helping or they're trying to do stuff um to clean their own stuff up. So I'm sitting here like thinking like I'm sitting here thinking like I'm angry. Like, I said something about it. I was trying to record, and then I realized my son was on the couch. I was like, oh snap! Like, psh, no, that's not appropriate. Like, shut up. Like, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. With that, I'm gonna go lay down. This other website, I need to sleep on it. Like, I may disable the whole account tomorrow. Um, Part of me is feeling like there's young people and old people. It may be more of a, I don't know. All of this is strangers, whatever, and some of it on there, it's like, this one is, what are you looking for? Like, what type of relationship, friendship are you looking for? And like, I don't know how to say it, but I wish it's like I had somebody to just go at, like, oh, let's go to a movie, oh, let's go here, let's go watch this DJ. But like, I wish I had like a friend. Like, it doesn't have to be like a date and you're all awkward. It's like, oh, my buddy's gonna go out this thing or we're gonna have a barbecue. Like, we never ever have that. And so it's like I said, October, let's just like start tomorrow and just do what we gotta do what I have to do stuff by myself. So peace, guys. I'm so tired.